There will come a time when I probably won't be able to bend over to tie my shoes. My back, it'll be stiff, my hips will be tight, my fingers will be unable to tie a knot. And I'll be sitting there, shoeless, staring at my feet, and I'll look back at all of the people who told me to do yoga, to stretch, to work on my posture, and I'll have no excuses left. It was just a dream. I did listen, and that may have been the best decision that I've ever made in my entire life. What I really want to tell you is this. Practicing yoga, especially for you men out there, is learning to manage avoidance or procrastination. The small things that we often neglect now, which we justify by claiming that they don't feel urgent, but ultimately determine what will be possible for us later in life. And I know, maybe you don't care about wearing your shoes, maybe you're fine shuffling around in your old man slippers, but there will come a time when the ability to do something that you do love will lean on the choices that you make today. So let me share with you some of the best reasons to get into yoga now before it's too late, and to nip that bud of procrastination in the Yoga is a practice that's designed for the long game, which may feel in complete contrast to the way that we've been conditioned. It's like boxing or, an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet. You have to pace yourself because the vast majority of life is not about personal records, about mileage, about intensity, about the number of steps you've taken. Yet for some reason, that's what's been glorified. I look around and it feels like everything is some game where you're trying to optimize your sport. And that's exactly why so many people avoid yoga, or they just don't stick with it, because it often doesn't feel like progress. You might be that person who can't touch their toes. So you take one yoga class, 2 yoga classes, an entire month of yoga, and then after still, you can't touch your toes. Yoga, it doesn't reflect urgency or speed. Rarely is there really instantaneous results, and at times it might even feel like regression. But that's also life. And avoidance, it thrives on that. Procrastination hates the thought of wasting time. It would rather do the things that it wants right now, even if that costs us later. For example, let's have one more drink. Let's stay up one more hour. Let's put it off one more day. Yoga looks at life in the long term. And I hate to burst your bubble, but it's not a bad idea. What is going on? We tend in life to avoid the things that we're not good at. And then the practice of yoga reflects right onto us all of the things that we're not good at. And we can either answer that call or we can choose to ignore it. There are kind of 2 types of students that I see. Well, it's a little bit more complex than that, but bear with me for this. There's the strong person who avoids stretching, and then there's the flexible person who avoids getting strong. And each justifies it by saying, this is just my thing, I'm flexible, why wouldn't I stretch? But what they're really saying is, doing what I'm not good at makes me feel weak, or it makes me feel vulnerable. And avoidance eats this up. The role of a good teacher is to put strength and flexibility in the same room and to ask them to get along. Yoga, practiced well, doesn't let you, you could say, specialize your way out. It forces strength and flexibility to work together. This is so important, and I can promise you that when you do get older, which will happen, the strength you have will crave mobility, and the mobility you have will crave strength. Trust me. Slowing down isn't physically hard. It's mentally brutal. Because when you slow down, you have to face what you're feeling and what you're thinking. When you slow down, you also notice the stiffness in the body, the fatigue, the shit that you've been ignoring. So instead, what we decide is to stay busy. I hear this all the time. Students tell me that when they try to meditate, they fall asleep or they doze off. Raise my hand on that one. This is because you are, in fact, tired, and falling asleep is what you actually need. But you're ignoring it. Maybe you don't meditate. Maybe every time you try to read a book or watch a movie, or just sit down at your desk trying to work. You nod off or drift off, but you can't because it's work. So what do? You drink more coffee and you eat more sugar and you stay more distracted. And ironically, becoming too stimulated, so at night, you can't fall asleep when it's actually the time to do that. Continue that for months or years, decades even, and it will pay a toll on you. And I see this all the time. Yoga teaches you to slow down. It teaches you to slow down before life does it for you. Breathing is part of many different practices, but it can also stand alone, which means that it's always available to you, which makes it extremely dangerous because if something is always available, you can't blame your time or your money or circumstances for not doing it. You can't blame your car being out of gas or you losing track of time or the phone not charging. The only person you can blame is yourself for not doing it. And breathing is powerful. Breathing directly relates to our physiology. It reveals to us how we're actually feeling, and more importantly, how we respond to stress. We start to notice when the breath is shallow, when we're holding the breath, when we're rushing it. And yoga teaches us how to breathe better so that we can feel better and live better.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Maintenance is unglamorous. It doesn't impress anyone. You don't go to your friend and show off your new oil change. You show off the sick new rims. And for that same reason, it's the first thing that we tend to skip until something breaks. Yoga is maintenance for the body and it's maintenance for the mind. There's a phrase from the Yoga Sutras. This is like the dictionary meets Bible of yoga. It says, Hayam Dukam Anagatam, which means prevent future pain. Or in other words, do some maintenance. Avoid waiting for pain. Avoid waiting for injury. Do what you can do now and keep your engine running for a very long time.
Hey, Mike.
Right.
So what's up?
Oh, nothing much. I was kind of hoping we might get to those thank you notes tomorrow night.
Oh, honey, I got Mitch's thing tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right.
So when people ask me, what's the benefits of yoga? I always come back to this. Yoga taught me something most of us don't learn until it's almost too late. How to stop avoiding the small things, the things that don't feel urgent, and to be grateful for the ability to move, to breathe, to get out of bed, to tie my shoes, the things that you'd never post about on the internet. Yoga didn't make my life inherently better, but it did something far more valuable. It trained me to listen a little bit deeper and a little bit sooner, to respond earlier, to take care of things before they became problems, so that life didn't have to force the lesson onto me. And honestly, that might have been the best decision, trying yoga, that I ever made, even if I fought it at first. If this video resonated with you, or if you caught yourself thinking, like, yeah, I procrastinate too, drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Or let me know what else you'd like for me to explore in these videos. Longevity, pain, stress, I don't know, whatever comes to mind, sleep, strength, getting older without losing the things that you love. This channel, it's truly built around you and around life. So let me know what you're navigating and I'll meet you there. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.